waiting to pick up my car. So I'm in Florida again, doing a review. Long story short, I thought it would be kind of interesting just to come down, see what kind of rental car I get, review it. So it's a complete mystery to me what I'm actually going to get. Super cool Delta flight though. It had all the blue lights. It felt like we were in Tron or something. So, gonna go see what car we can get into here tonight and see what's what. Why not? Something to do, right? Maserati, a Volt, a couple Audis, a Challenger. I don't think dollar rental car is going to give us a Maserati. So now the moment when we get to go pick the car. I love this. Okay. Got a Sonic, a Kia. I think I found a winner. Oh, I totally want that Fiesta. Doing it. ...2016 Ford Fiesta. Air conditioning, automatic transmission, keyless entry. Although we do have a keyed fob here. And the people back there probably think I'm crazy for filming the Ford Fiesta. And we already have a low tire pressure warning. Shoot! I didn't want to take the Sonic there because I dropped Kelly has that. Darn it. I wonder how low it actually is. Well, I just looked. All the tires seem inflated, so I'm gonna roll the dice here and see what happens. That Yaris right there had something written on the windshield. I don't want the Sonic because I've driven that a million times already at home, and that yellow Kia over there is just brutal. So we're stuck in the Ford. Let's see if we can get out of here because it is a nightmare right now to leave. 13,000 miles. Feels a little beat down, but hey, what do you want? It's a Fiesta rental car. One of the things it has that I've always hated on Fords is this stupid like integrated phone looking thing here, like with this array of numbers like a phone keyboard. That always annoyed me. Does have AC though. Illuminated cup holders which look really fancy. Full tank of gas, thank God. A big nasty gross thing on the steering wheel, which I will not touch that. Can't really tell, but it does have the Ford Sync system. This is very bare bones though. Power door locks, power windows, power mirrors. Whenever people get in a rental car, I feel like they forget how to drive because it's not their car, especially these crucial moments of pulling up, you know, learning where the shifter is, any of that things. This line is horrible. And I mean, this lady in front of me, she's got a Versa. It took her like a solid 5 seconds to figure out how to shift, how to move the thing. It's just horrible. Hello, no problem. They really don't want you to steal this Fiesta.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I've been down here a few days now. Drove the Fiesta I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times been using the Disney transportation. It's free. But man, this Fiesta, it's for a Fiesta, it's nice, but I don't know, I want to drive something different. So I'm going to make a few calls here, try to get something better, maybe something more fun since I came all the way down here. But I don't know, we'll see. I could strike out. So I'm going to make a few calls, see what happens, and hopefully I can trade the Fiesta for something just, I don't know, way better. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I lined something up that is actually going to be fun to drive, and I think you're going to like it just a little better. So I think it's almost here, but I'm going to go out and wait. So watch this, just wait. This hotel is just so tacky. Just look at this. Pretty rough, huh? Okay, so this is a 2015 Chevrolet SS. What's crazy is, though, it actually was here at EPCOT. And when I say that, there's like a Chevrolet ride, and at the end they have a showroom in it, and they have different new cars, things like that. And this actual car was in there, which is crazy because it's out now in the wild. They resold it, they did that whole thing, but we were just talking like how many people actually sat in this car and you know, tested it out just to sit in there. It never ran in there, but it just sits there as like just a show car, like an auto show almost. So very crazy that it's kind of back here at EPCOT. Very good.
Yeah.
So as I was saying earlier, I had a Fiesta rental car, and now I'm in a 2015 Chevy SS. And this is not the Impala, it's not the Caprice, it's just basically its own little entity, and they make these in Australia, they ship them over. I don't think sales numbers have been that big, but it's also not a very high production volume car. And this is one of those cars, I was just saying, I bugged GM to send me one for a press review and could never get one, but finally in one, and it's a manual, so that's super awesome. This is almost like when you see all my videos of building the Impala, you know, working on that, this is like the modern day equivalent of that. It's not your expensive V series like I drove, it's not, you know, an expensive Audi or M series BMW. This is just a very, say, simple, solid 4-door sedan with a V8. It's just such a neat car, though. It's very well appointed, very comfortable, and more power than really most people need. But it's so fun to have, though. I do like this thing a lot so far. I'm sure there's like a massive amount of vacation photos where this car's in. It's like just people just were living it up.
I think in 2015, I think they made 3,700 and some.
It's not many. And what's crazy too is when you start, like, because I was looking for a G8 for a while. I'm like, oh, I want a manual. Well, then you get down, somebody starts drilling down the numbers. I mean, there was not many manual G8s out there. Because it had to be the GXP package, which was like the LS3 or something. It had Brembos, but then manuals were way, and there was even automatic GXPs. And I'm like, oh, I'd want a black one. Okay, fine. So you start looking for black, then you like, there's only like 10 black manuals in the world ever made. It's just.
Well, I searched for this for months.
Where'd you find it actually?
Over at Bob Steele Chevrolet over in Cocoa.
And they just ended up with it somehow?
They got it at auction when Disney was done with it.
Okay.
They sent it to auction and they picked it up. It had 9 miles on it.
Oh, wow. Alright, so we just spent some time in the Chevy SS here. I'm a big fan. I knew I would be beforehand though too, so it's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say I had a preconceived notion of the car, because I kind of did. At the same time, it just does everything you want it to do, at least for me. I would love to own this thing because, you know, it's got 4 doors, it's got a decent sized trunk, it has a manual, you have 400 plus horsepower. It's just really, really cool. I'm a big fan of it though. And we were just talking about the color. This one is one of, what'd you say, 60? One of 61 with this color. And even add that unique factor of it was at Disney World in EPCOT Center for a number of months, I'm sure. Just, you know, it's that thing where you think of how many kids actually sat in this thing and were like, yeah, this is a really cool car and I want this. So it's got that little appeal factor to it. So very, very cool car though. I'm a fan of it, and I was before. I love this thing. Well, I think the fun's over. Got to get back into this pile right here. What's really cool about that car is, first off, it's from a fan, we'll say. I don't know how many fans I have, but you know, that's his name was Joe. And he's always messaged me, giving kind words, and you know, we just happened to be in the same area. He lives down here in Florida, so that was awesome. Big thanks to Joe for letting me drive his car. Probably wouldn't have gotten one from GM ever, because they don't seem to have a major press fleet with that. But super cool car though. I do love the Impala that I'm building now. I don't love this Fiesta. I would drive it, but it's not something I would buy. But man, what a great car. Just as simple to the point where it doesn't have a power glove box door and power cup holders and all that garbage that you don't really need. It's just right to the point. A V8, rear wheel drive, manual transmission, and I love the understated looks of that car. It is so just like, I love having a car that most people don't know what it is. So most of my cars are like debadged. They don't say what they actually are. And the other thing is, it just kind of blends in. And if you don't like a car to blend in, that's not something you should buy. But if you want a fun, fast car that can haul people around, it's not a sports car, it won't stick out like a sore thumb, it's a perfect car for that. And next year, 2017, is the last year for that car, because Holden's going to quit making them in Australia, and then they're going to quit, you know, shipping them over. So definitely a cool car though, the Chevrolet SS. I could see myself looking for one in a few years once I, you know, run out with the Impala and kind of get sick of that whole thing, but that's to be seen. So once again, thanks to Joe. Back in this Fiesta, I don't know. Got some stuff to do today, but it's not a bad little car, but definitely not a Chevy SS, that's for sure. So thanks for watching. It was a quick review, but you know, definitely a fun car to get into for a short period of time even. So if you're interested in one, definitely check it out. It's pretty solid.